You just try to stay at peace and just to maintain that balance of, like I have friends that, we grew up playing music together, and, some of them now, it's like they have, they're married with kids and stuff, and we'll sit around and we'll get drunk, and I'll be like, oh, we played with Slayer at some festival, and they'll be like really jealous, and they're like, oh, you're so lucky. At the same time, I'll see them playing with their kids, and I'll just, and that kind of thing, which gets, the more you travel, it's harder and harder to pull that kind of thing off. So it's like, it's definitely a balance, and I mean, it's with life, you can't have everything. You've got to make a decision, and I think all of us, I mean, a lot of the people, I mean, we're lucky enough right now that like enough people enjoy the music and come to the shows that we can continue the traveling, and we don't starve to death on tour, but just, that for now it's like, there's, it's like with anything, there's a sacrifice to everything, and it's like, there's also too, it's like you're playing for an hour every night, but it's also, you're sitting in a van for 8 hours going crazy, not always, sometimes it's nice, but so it's just, you just to keep level-headed, and I don't even mean about like, because we're not famous or anything, but just the levelness of like staying grounded and like not losing your mind, and like, especially you're traveling in a van with 5 to 10 people for sometimes 2 months straight. Tensions are gonna arise, so you've kind of got to find a way within your own personality to kind of curb that kind of initial, at the first couple tours, it's like, fuck you, you're an asshole. But after a while, it's like, it's better just, you learn ways of like, maybe it's like some sort of meditation, some Buddhist trait of just, you just try to stay at peace and try to, stay calm and do what you do, because usually most of the time the hour that we get to play is great, and when it goes perfect, when it's like you're in sync with the audience and all the electricity of the club is flowing properly, and it's and you throw a little whiskey into the mix, it's one of my favorite feelings. So
enjoying whiskey and playing music.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes the whiskey you just need to loosen up a bit, but But just, like people, and it doesn't even, you could be playing really terribly, but if the audience is reacting, it doesn't have to be positive, but if they're yelling, at least there's a reaction, and there's some sort of feeling that's arising in the room with a whole bunch of people. It's quite thrilling. I mean, especially if you look back at, a lot of political rallies, public speakers, people that are really good at it. It's quite an awe. How would you put it? It's quite, that someone, one person with a microphone with no music or anything, they're not even standing behind guitars or drums, could like either enrage or captivate or, spread love through a bunch of people, and they feel connected for that moment. Even just watching, like the thing with, when Obama became elected, it's like watching, and it's like, I know he's a politician, and I can see all the things and whatever, and little things have changed, maybe things won't change, whatever, but like just actually watching like people of the because, the people who live in the United States are awesome. Government's fucked. But to see just that little, people say, oh, hope's, it's like blind faith, but just to see people like this sigh of relief, like fucking Bush is gone, or whatever, and just seeing Obama speak and people captivated and kind of full of, maybe not even joy, but just relief. Some with joy, some with, so many different levels. I mean, it's got nothing to do with playing music, but it's that same kind of just people bound together in some sort of unification, especially when it's, lots of, like, that's one of the reasons I like playing with Black Mountain, especially, is there's a lot of different, we get like older folks, sometimes they're in their 60s and 70s that were around way back then, and, and then you get young kids, and you get you know, headbangers, you get indie rockers, and it's cool to have like just a lot of people that maybe don't, you know, they're rubbing shoulders, you know, getting along for the evening.